everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. So grateful to have you listening to the program, the best darn travel show in the world, if I say so myself. But I'm not alone. My co-explorer, as always, Amy Long.
Hi.
We have a fantastic show for you. We are excited to talk about this because, you know what, it's just a subject near and dear to my heart and my mind, and sometimes in the crevices of my body. We're talking about sand at the beach. Actually, we're just talking beaches, but, you know, sand is a part of that. A little bit later in the show, a little bit later in the show, we have an expert from Lonely Planet. They have a brand new book out outlining the best beaches in the entire world, and it's a good conversation we're going to have. And so, let's do that, right? We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, where we don't have too many beaches. We have a lot of sand.
We do. We have
Not a lot of
sand.
beaches. There are a few, though. Mm-hmm. People might be surprised that we do actually have a few public beaches, because not every beach is connected to an ocean, right?
Right.
A lot of people, nearby, relatively speaking, nearby is Lake Tahoe. Right outside of Las Vegas is Lake Mead. And there are riverbanks that have, sand embankments and things like that. So wherever you find your beach, we understand that it's a very popular. Are you a beach person?
I love the beach.
Really?
I think there's a difference between having a vacation and going traveling. And to me, a vacation is lounging on a beach somewhere with a drink in my hand.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love the waves. I love the sunsets and the sunrises. I mean, you know me. I'm up. You're still sleeping, and I'm up on the beach watching the sunrise. Some of my favorite photos are taken while you're still snoring in the bedroom, and I'm on the beach. But I love it. I don't want to do that for every time we travel, but I think once a year you have to go just lay on a beach somewhere.
Why would you think that beach vacations are so popular?
I think it's calming. I think people enjoy getting out in nature, and it may not necessarily be the kind of nature you think of, but it is still nature, and the waves crashing on the shore. It's just, and the sun, it's just calm, and it's nice, and it's just away from that hustle and bustle of every day.
Yeah, like you said, I think there's this correlation between the waves crashing, the wind, and even, the birds that otherwise might be a pest. It's something about the gentle sounds that they make, and it's a little bit of the sunshine and, the salt in the air. It really does have you. I mean, every time we go to the beach, you often find me just staring out into the water. And I'm just like,
it's mesmerizing.
I'm letting the cares of the world just go out with the tide, man. I don't know. It's something really kind of magical almost about.
Well, we're not alone in it. I mean, if you think about it, there are beach-scented candles. There are beach-scented lotions. And a lot of it is more like tropical type smells, but it's all created to remind you of a time at the beach. And people love that. I think it triggers these happy, relaxing memories. And, people want that, especially when it's Wednesday afternoon and they really don't want to do 2 more days of work. It's like, let me burn a beach-scented candle and think about happier times.
Well, you look at a lot of people's screensavers on their computers.
Mine
what is it? It's a picture of the beach, man. Why? Because sometimes you just gonna strangle somebody, but then that screensaver pops up and you're like, can't do it because then I won't get to enjoy the beach anymore.
My screensaver is a photo I took at Lake Tahoe when we went a few years ago with the kids. Love it.
That's so nice. Well, each year, 180 million Americans make 2 billion combined trips to the beach. They go out, and whether it's popular beaches that like Venice Beach, California, or Miami Beach, Florida, South Beach, where LeBron took his talents a couple of years ago. In the UK, they combined for 171 million visits to the beach, which you wouldn't think that because of how pale people are over there sometimes. It's 73% of all these beachgoers get into the water. So that means
1 in 4 people don't get in the water.
Why? Right. So it's not all encompassing. People don't go to the beach for the same reasons or they don't have the same draws. Like I'm going to go swim in the ocean
Right.
or swim in the river or wherever you find your beach. So, you mentioned earlier, all these different people, and it equates to about 4 in 10. When people are asked about their perfect idea for a vacation, roughly 4 in 10 people say the beach. The other ones, we don't want to be associated with those people. We don't care what they think. They're wrong. Whatever they're saying,
For
they're
this
wrong.
episode, they're wrong.
They're absolutely. When we do one about skiing, they're right. They're right. Who cares about the beach? I don't know. But, we mentioned some of the more popular beaches, and they're not all cookie cutter. They're not all the same. We mentioned Venice Beach, California, Miami Beach. Venice Beach sees 16 million plus visitors every single season. That's a lot of butts in the sand, right? A lot of those little outlines. But then you have places like Coney Island in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Which has been popular since the 1830s.
It's not a beach it's not a place when you say popular beaches in the U.S., I don't think of New York. It just doesn't come to mind. But I'm not from the Northeast of the United States. So I guess for somebody who doesn't live there, we don't associate that area with beaches. But now that we're talking about it, there is the Jersey Shore. I mean, they made TV shows about people hanging out at the beach there, right? So obviously it's a beach destination for some people.
Yeah, it's on the Jersey Shore. Oh, my God. Yeah, I mean, because I think when most people talk about the beach, especially if you're in the U.S., maybe you think Hawaii. You think Waikiki Beach
or even down to Mexico.
Yeah, Cabo, the Los Cabos or Cancun, places we've been to. But, some of them, Daytona Beach and Huntington Beach, are all really famous. But there are beaches like Lake Tahoe where we went.
Yeah.
And that people, there's beaches in Wisconsin, along the Great Lakes in Michigan, and anywhere you can find a little bit of sand to combine with the water, to combine with the sunshine.
It's a beach.
It's a beach. And people make the most of it.
And it's not all sand. We've been to beaches that are pebbles. We've been to beaches that are like volcanic rock. Not all beaches are the same.
Yeah. We mentioned some of the more popular beaches here in the U.S., but, the UK, and we got a lot of listeners in the UK that have their own popular beaches. And I am going to butcher some of these names.
Oh, I'm ready.
What I always have to read these. Bournemouth. It's a coastal resort town.
Bournemouth. Okay.
And if
coastal resort
send
town.
all hate mail to
not
Jeremy
to me
at Gmail. Inside the Holcomb National Nature Reserve and Beach in Norfolk, they have a very popular beach area in Norfolk.
Okay.
Norfolk. Anyway, Brighton Beach in East Sussex. I've actually heard of Brighton Beach.
You can say that one.
Yeah. It doesn't have a whole lot of sand and serenity, but it does have a collection of piers, seaside amusements, all those kind of things that kind of get you into. So it's not all.
That's how I imagine Coney
surf.
Beach is.
Coney Island?
Coney Island, yes. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Whitby Beach. Whitby Beach in Yorkshire, or probably Yorkshire. Anyway. But this is a place, you've probably seen pictures of it. If you don't know, if you've never been there, I know I have, where they have these little colorful piers of book stands and things like that. It almost looks picturesque.
Book stands?
Well, like beach huts. There you go.
Oh,
not book stands.
Okay.
God, whatever. I'm thinking,
you just confused me.
like they have the rows of colorful, like rainbow colored.
Yes. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
You know how Miami Beach has the very loud.
The lifeguard stands?
Yeah, the lifeguard stands.
Yes. So they have
So Whitby Beach has
the little changing
beach
huts.
Yeah, changing huts.
Okay.
It's also popular because this is where Dracula made landfall.
Dracula?
And Bram Stoker's
Dracula. Oh. The fictional Dracula?
No, the real one. The real one came there and he was like, whoa, it's hot.
Was it nighttime?
Anyway, Unscaled Travel Show. We're talking beaches today. We'll have more after the break.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long. Be sure to visit us online, fullmetaltraveler.com. Check us out on social media across all the socials at Full Metal Traveler. Sorry. I'm with my co-explorer, Amy Long. You're having nasal problems.
I'm sorry.
Talking about the beach. Nasal problems, issues here. I got your microphone turned off. We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in Sin City, Nevada. Fun. A place with not a whole lot of beaches, but we do have a couple, which surprises people. We do have beaches here in Las Vegas. Not water, but we do have beaches. So.
Well, people always ask me, people who are flying in from other parts of the country, like, other than Lake Mead, is there water here? And I'm like, yeah, there's a few man-made lakes here. We have Lake Las Vegas, which is to the east of the city. Mm-hmm. And then we have a few man-made lake communities inside the city where they have built these community houses around some water features that they call a lake. But yeah, there's water around here. You just have to know where to look for it.
The lakes of Las Vegas, that's what they call it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. They used it to jack up prices on houses years ago. So you can live by water and not just the regular sand that we have. It reminds me of all the trips that we've taken and looking back on it and taking into account, we have visited a lot of beaches.
Mm-hmm. We have.
We grew up on the coastline of Texas. Not pretty beaches there.
No.
Ugh.
We never went to the beach.
Kind of dirty water where the Mississippi River hits the Gulf of Mexico, creates the water, and the water gets all brown.
It's muddy.
It's muddy water, right?
Yeah.
And not just the Blue Singer, but it's muddy water. And so it doesn't make for a pristine beach. But there are places in Texas, like South Padre Island, that do have beautiful, clean water, wonderful beaches and so forth and everything. But we've been to places like Hawaii, where there are multiple different types of beaches.
Right.
And you mentioned a little bit like black stone beaches, black rock beaches or so. Why do we have such trouble on trips? Because normally we walk along the beach and mind our own business, but sometimes we just...
Well, that was our very first bigger trip. We had never really traveled before, you and I, and we decided,
and it showed.
It did show
because we almost died.
So this was years ago. We had only been married a few years, and we went to Hawaii for my birthday, which was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And we did a few different things. We went to Maui. We drove the road to Hana, which has all these different roads you can take down and to go into different beaches. And that's where we saw all these different rock beaches and volcanic beaches and little hidden, secluded beaches. Mm-hmm. We also had those amazing fresh fruit smoothies. You remember that?
The best smoothies to this day that we've ever had. Right on the side of the road on the Hana Highway. They
literally just had baskets of mangoes and pineapples, and they're just taking a giant machete and cutting it open and throwing it in a blender, which I guess there was a generator. I don't even remember.
I don't know.
On the side of the road.
There were two flavors.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't care. You were getting whatever you got given. And we were just walked up and,
good.
Hey, two. And he was like, and just started chopping.
So good, though.
It was the best.
But the last morning we were there, we did decide to get out in the water. Because remember, we wanted to go snorkeling. So there's actually...
Yeah, there's actually a couple of stories.
Of stories. But
we died twice.
They did tell us that the surf was a bit rough that day. And to be careful getting into the water. But it didn't seem that bad. And so we walk out into the water and we're playing around, and then we decide, okay, we're done. What we didn't realize was that the undercurrent was very strong.
We didn't realize?
Okay, well, I'm a tiny little person. So as I'm trying to get out of the water, it is literally dragging me back in. Pulled me under, and I did happen to lose my bathing suit top. And someone had to shield me as I searched for it.
Enter me. I will shield you. Until you started pulling me down on top of you because your top was coming off. Drowning me as the waves crashed upon us.
So we end up rolling around in the edge of the water.
What is that movie? What is that movie where they're rolling around in the sand? It looked like that, but we weren't doing it on purpose. And it didn't look cinematic. It looked like...
Oh, people were looking at us, pointing, laughing.
Old people
we
were
laughing
walking by us. Like, what is wrong with these people? And that wasn't our last day by choice. The people from Hawaii came to us and they were like, you got to leave, man. You guys are just causing too many issues. But we have been to like Mexico, Cabo and Cancun and different areas. I mean, what was the Praia del Rey in Portugal?
Portugal, yeah.
Beautiful beach.
Beautiful beach.
But it's not exactly the beach that you would go down, that we think of, that you would go down and like bring a chair and everything. Although they did have some things you could walk out.
It was a lovely beach, but where we happened to get to the beach, the stairs were closed off because they had pretty much rotted and needed to be replaced. So we kind of had to stop there. We couldn't get down to the actual beach itself.
That was a one-way, that's what they call a one-way trip beach. You're going down there, but you ain't coming back.
But again, we got some beautiful photos. You have one
yeah.
framed in your office. Probably one of the nicest beach sunset photos we've ever taken.
And then, I remember years ago, we brought the kids to Panama City Beach.
In Florida, yeah. And that was a really nice trip. I like Florida. I think different parts of Florida have different feels, but it was a nice Panama City Beach. The city is a really nice, friendly, family-oriented place. And then, just hanging out on the beach every day.
And I know we've mentioned Lake Tahoe a couple times, but we went there and our poor daughter, the sun, we didn't realize how intense the sun was. And, she had like a sunbeam cutting across her face. She ended up, at the end of the day, she looked like Two-Face. She looked like a Batman villain. She was so sunburned.
On half her face. Poor baby.
She's traumatized.
I still have that photo too. One half of her face is blistered from being in the sun, and the other half is so very, very white.
Oh, wow.
Poor thing.
Yeah. So, beach.
But I love Lake Tahoe. And they have multiple beaches too. They have the sand beach. The beach by the house we were staying at was all pebbles, so we did have to go buy water shoes, remember? Because we couldn't even walk out into the water because it hurt our feet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. tons of it. And that's a good point. Like how different these beaches are, but it all kind of remains the same with people, and you go and you experience it, and it's, you have these fun memories, and it is this calming thing. You think about the beach and like, never really had a bad time, No.
Other than getting sunburnt, I've never had a bad time at the beach.
I mean, I've seen, there's an episode of Friends where
things happen at the beach. I did actually, when I was a kid and we went to Florida, I did get stung by a jellyfish one time.
Oh,
yeah,
did?
I did on my foot. They had to make this paste stuff and put it on there. Didn't really help.
Nobody peed on you?
No one peed on me. I don't think they knew at that time you could do that.
I think that's a myth.
I don't know. I'm just glad nobody peed on me.
Let's try it out. Next time we go to the beach, I'm going to pee on you. Just to try.
No. We're going to get kicked off another beach.
It's the Unskilled Travel Show. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unskilled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Remember, for all of our past interviews and episodes, check us out, fullmetaltraveler.com. If the dullness of winter or just everyday life has you longing for warm beaches and sunny weather like I often do, perhaps you've always wanted to visit a beach in a faraway destination, or maybe you'd like to explore some beaches closer to your hometown. Well, you're in luck. Lonely Planet has a brand new guidebook out entitled Best Beaches, 100 of the World's Most Incredible Beaches. This is the perfect guide for anyone looking for the most exceptional and unexpected beaches around the globe. And it's all backed by, strenuous research from their panel of experts. And one of those experts joins us today, Chris Zier from Lonely Planet. How you doing today, Chris?
Mate, I'm really, really good. I'm like dialing in from like 102-degree Melbourne weather down in Australia. So I think I'm appropriately positioned to be talking about the best beaches in the world. And I feel like I should be doing this interview in my boardies or my budgies or my board shorts or my speedos. Or maybe that's too much.
You know what? I think the prerequisite for this interview was both of us should be in speedos. And probably just standing on your front porch because it's so hot down there.
Yeah, I said, I've got industrial strength fans like blowing all around my house at the moment. It's going to be hot.
I thought you were going a different direction with that. I thought you were going to be like, I got industrial strength speedos. And I'm like, well, whatever you need, Chris. We will just abide by that. Well,
I'm just saying we are Australian, so it's the industrial strength everything. Have you seen the Hemsworths, man? We are cookie cutters.
I love it. Well, this is going to go off the rails. Let's focus on this book. Let's begin at the beginning. What inspired Lonely Planet to kind of create this book and specifically focus on the world's best beaches?
It's a really interesting question, and we kind of approach this as beaches that travelers would go to. So like at Lonely Planet, we're all about the traveler. We're always looking through the travel lens. And this for us was, we see a lot of lists about best beaches to go swimming or best beaches to go snorkeling. And we were like, well, what about these incredible beaches just to visit because they are either iconic or they're synonymous with a particular place or they've got incredible sunsets. We wanted to kind of add and look through that lens and understand, well, these are beaches worth putting on your travel itinerary. And so that became quite an exciting place to start the creation of this list because it becomes a lot broader in terms of where you can go. You can do super tropical, like big palm trees and white sands, but you can also go to like Arctic or Antarctic beaches or something that's like super cold. So you can really kind of vary it up. And it meant that the destinations that we were choosing from was much, much broader.
Well, I mean, you kind of touched on it a bit there, but can you share maybe some of the, I guess, criteria or factors that the panel considered when selecting the beaches that are featured? Because if you look through this guide, I mean, it's various. I mean, you got stuff from all over the world here. So what are some of those factors or maybe criteria?
Yeah, we kept coming back to that word best. Like, so what makes this a beach our best beach? And really every time it kind of came up, it was like, is it best because it has this amazing wildlife experience? Is it best because it, as I said before, it's got these incredible sunsets and you definitely want to have that experience? Is it best because you need to do a 3-hour hike to get there, but then you're rewarded with these spectacular views and this incredible experience? So we kind of continue to like look through that as a criteria and ask ourselves every single time is, why is this the kind of best in category? We like the word incredible as well. So like, what makes this like an incredible beach? Is it like spectacular scenery? Is it the way the beach is actually shaped? Is it the fact that you have to walk 22 miles from one end of the beach to the other? Like, what makes it an incredible experience? And then that third criteria being, why should you put it on your travel list? So why should it be part of your travel itinerary or your travel plan? And we did start out with something like 500 beaches to start with in a big, horrible Google Doc. and with lots of editors and authors going kind of justifying and making kind of saying, these are the reasons why we think this beach should be included.
How does one narrow that down? I mean, I'm sure you were just mentioning it. There were so many to choose from.
Yeah, I think what it ended up coming down to, and this really happened towards the end as we were getting into the nitty gritty of like, what are the top 100, was actually what makes this a travel experience. So again, it was kind of like, why would you go out of your way to go here and have an experience? And again, not necessarily that's just about swimming, but it may be about hiking, and maybe about, this is a great place to just sit with the kids and have a picnic. Like, it's like, so what is the experience that you would have there? And so therefore it didn't become about beachy beaches, if that makes sense. It became about beaches where you would have a really, really amazing experience. And that then made it kind of obvious that these were the top 100. But then we got to the very end and some came out and some came in and some came out. There was a lot of debate towards the end, which I think is healthy and really exciting. And lists should I think, provoke debate as well, and provoke and start conversations about, oh, why did they pick this one and not this one? Like, even though they might be 10 miles apart.
We're speaking with Chris Zier, Lonely Planet expert. How do you guys envision your readers using this book? And it's labeled as a travel guide, but is it also a source of inspiration or maybe a little bit of both?
Yeah, we actually put it in more of that kind of coffee table kind of format, because the photography when we were sourcing it was just so lush. It was so beautiful that we were like, it's actually a lot of this photography is doing the heavy lifting for us. So we want to make this into kind of more of a large inspirational title that sits in people's homes that you can kind of pick up and peruse and browse at any particular time. But it does still have practical travel advice. So it does have information on how to get there, what to do when you're there. And the other bit that I love is we've talked to locals and they've given us their little tips of what to do when you're there, like avoid this time, go now. So we've actually had, that proper Lonely Planet know-how is kind of in there as well. But I probably see it more as an inspirational piece rather than a real practical, I would take this with me. But we hope that it kind of inspires and, when we get to winters on our parts of the world, you can go to best beaches on your bookshelf and start to kind of go, oh, I want to be there.
Well, you touched on it right there. I mean, given the dynamic nature of travel destinations and how, rapidly information can change, how did you ensure that the information provided in the book is current and relevant for readers? And is this going to be a yearly updated book, or is this maybe a one-off, or how do you see it going forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we wanted to make this one quite evergreen because we put it in that kind of coffee table format. So actually, and it's like a slightly higher RRP, recommended retail price on it and all that sort of stuff as well. So we needed to make the content a little bit more evergreen, and hence why speaking to locals about little tips and bits and pieces made it really relevant. But what I'm quite excited about is we've had such positive reviews and such positive feedback on this product. We're already thinking about regional versions. So we're thinking about Best Beaches USA, Best Beaches Australia. We're already kind of thinking actually there's a real appetite for this kind of content and a real appetite for looking at beaches through a different kind of lens. And I know that I've said that a lot, but I think that's what's been really interesting to us is people have really gravitated towards that. And they love the fact that it's kind of well, I'm not necessarily a swimmer, so why would I look at beaches? But I'm a traveler. Beaches can become part of my travel experience. So I really love that we're kind of challenging the way that people kind of think about these spaces and places as well.
Chris, if people want to find the book, where can they find it? And if they want to follow along with you, because you have one of the toughest jobs in the world by far, where can they find you? How can they keep up with you?
Yeah, so definitely jump onto lonelyplanet.com. That's where we put all our kind of current advice. If you'd love to, source this book as a gift or for yourself, it's available where all books are sold. And we also have a shop on lonelyplanet.com, so feel free to jump on there and check it out.
That's it, Chris. Thank you so much for your time, man. I got to get you back in your Speedo and back on those beaches and doing the hard work that we all dream about, bro.
I am going to get my industrial strength Speedos on and get cracking out there in the 102-degree heat.
Keep it right here. This is the Unscaled Travel Show. After the break, we're going to have more.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Be sure to check us out online, fullmetaltraveler.com, for all of our past episodes and interviews. Catch up, man. We got a lot of good information out there. There's going to be a pop quiz on this. You know that, right? Around episode, I don't know. We'll make you guess, but you got to go to the website. Test you, quiz you on things. I don't know what I'm talking about. My co-explorer, as always, Amy Long.
Hi. Just listening to you ramble about nonsense.
I know. I know. Well, that's half the show. It's just rambling. Rambling
nonsense.
Yeah. And then travel factoid, ramble. We are talking about beaches. It's got us in a summertime kind of mood. And, we were talking just a minute ago with our expert from Lonely Planet. Thank you so much to them for opening their expertise up to us. You can find their book. It's called, you got to pronounce this right, Best Beaches, 100 of the world's most incredible beaches, because I've been told I don't enunciate clearly, and it sounds like I say other things.
Very
I said
true.
beaches.
Imagine the research that went into writing 100 of the world's best beaches. You think they just sent their crew out across the world and said, go lay on every beach you can find and report back?
You have to enunciate as well. But yes, I think that is that has to be in the parameters, right?
I don't know.
That has to be. You can't, how do you get a sense for a place where you can recommend it, where you feel actually comfortable selling a book or even just recommending something to someone if you've never been there, if you've never felt the sand, if you've never, listened to the waves and really kind of got a sense of it. So I think all of these you would have to go and try at least, how do you get out there? What's the best time to go? Is it so popular that it gets crowded at certain points?
Yeah.
Or is it one of these that like, hey, it takes a while to get there, but once you get
totally
there, it's secluded.
Yeah.
And and because they're talking about locations all around the world.
Yeah.
And not just in a couple of specific areas. And I think the U.S. has maybe a handful of those beaches. A lot of them are overseas, beautiful, pristine places. I don't want to ruin it for you. Go look it up. Go to lonelyplanet.com. Check out their book. So, thank you so much. But again, you get into the science of it. Like, we love beaches because we have our reasons for it. But scientists have been studying this for years. Like beach, going to the beach and having that be a part of our vacation and how we relax kind of got popular like in the 17th century. That's when nobility started going to the beach, right? It's a little bit cooler at the beach. You get wind, you kind of have all these things.
Natural air conditioning
Because they didn't have soap.
Oh.
And people was rank. So they used some of that natural salt. And I don't know, maybe they picked up a bird or something and cleaned themselves. I don't know. Whatever reasons that they had back then. I mean, you think about it, if they were in medieval times or something.
Well, I doubt they had amusement parks. So what else were they doing for vacation?
They didn't have Six Flags over Texas?
No. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But our brains, scientists think our brains are hardwired with positivity as like when we get around water. It's just something about us. And they don't know. I mean, of course, they're still just doing research on it, but they like to think there's a connection between like water and the whole aesthetic to a beach and like our old like natural primitive selves about it, kind of that hunter-gatherer thing about wherever man came from.
I can see that. I mean, as you said earlier, a lot of people's screensavers and wallpaper on our phone is some type of beach. Mm-hmm. Everybody has seen that same one with it's the beach and the palm trees hanging over and there's the hammock in there and you all just picture yourself there. But even like if you go to the spa, there's the trickling water sounds, and even on a lot of meditation things you can listen to, there's water sounds. I think water in itself is just very calming to people.
Yeah, and something about it. Sometimes it makes me have to go to the bathroom. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm the only one. There's just something I found.
You're kind of weird, you know that. I love you, but
okay. I was going to talk about sandcastles,
no,
but I don't
let's
know.
Talk about sandcastles.
I don't know. It's just an interesting thing I saw. Okay. The tallest sandcastle. They had these sandcastle building competitions are all around the world.
I've never been good at building sandcastles.
Well,
anyway, back to the
I would
tallest.
recommend you enter any of these contests then. The tallest sandcastle in the world measured 57 feet, 11 inches tall. It was built in 2019 in Binz, Germany.
Wow.
57 feet tall.
That is very tall.
I've actually stumbled upon, I think in Florida, that they had a sandcastle building contest. Some of these designs they come up with are just, I mean, intricate and just amazing. I mean, they're like works of art, and then they got to be destroyed.
Yeah. Well, for our listeners not in the U.S., 57 feet and 11 inches is over 17 meters high.
Oh.
Pretty high.
There you go. 17. I forgot we use a
We're special.
That's stupid conversion. Most sand on the earth is quartz. Tan sand is a result of iron oxide and
Oxide.
I can't read. Iron oxide and feldspar. Okay, all right. And we mentioned black sand. You can find it in Hawaii. Why? A lot of volcanic activity creates this black sand because of the material, comes out of lava and magma and all this other stuff. White sand beaches. This is what I found because everyone wants white sand beaches, right? That's what you picture.
Yeah.
In your mind, you're like, oh,
that powdery white sand.
It's powdery white sand, and you're just rolling around with it, and with your betrothed, and it's like that moment. And maybe there's a Kelly Clarkson song playing in the background or something. Maybe some Teddy Pendergrass. I don't know. But white sand beaches in Hawaii are actually formed by parrotfish poop.
Did you say poop?
Poop. Excrement. The fish bite and scrape algae off of rocks and dead corals with their parrot-like beaks, hence parrotfish. Basically, they go through the whole system, and it's poop. It's their poop.
And that's what the sand is?
And so when you're throwing your towel out there, and you're like, and you go, oh, I got a little sand in my mouth. There you go.
Ew.
Picture that next time you're out there.
Oh, thanks for that. I guess we're not going to the beach anytime soon.
So we're not getting invited to a white sand beach anytime soon. But these parrotfish can produce hundreds of pounds of white sand. I'm going to call it sand. White sand each year. So it's very important to the ecosystem and everything. But yeah, if you're on those white sand beaches in Hawaii.
Well, I just learned something.
There, you just learned something you probably didn't want to know.
Did not want to know. Thank you.
Hey, on the other side of that, there is, in Australia, there's a famous Shell Beach, which of course is made up of trillions of tiny shells. Well,
Makes sense.
Obvious the name, right?
Do you walk on it barefoot or
know.
do you wear shoes?
Someone from Australia. I've never been. I know it's famous. I've never been. If you've been to Shell Beach, let me know. I mean, does it hurt your feet? Or are they so small and...
Does it feel like tiny pebbles? Which, saying that, we have walked on pebbled beaches before. It does kind of hurt your feet. Mm-hmm. I recommend water shoes. We've walked on sand beaches that just had shells mixed into the sand. And those suckers can be sharp.
If you ever want to hear Amy Long curse, walk on a Shell Beach with her, because when you don't see the ones and they jab the bottom of your foot.
Cut your foot. It hurts. It hurts.
I thought I had some tough hobbit feet, but no. No, I got very sensitive feet. And also, there is no such thing as a seagull. Let me bird-splain to you here for a minute. There is no such thing as a seagull. The correct term is simply gull.
Gull.
Because
Enunciate again.
gull, because gulls don't live exclusively near the sea. So it doesn't make sense that we call them seagulls. They're just gulls.
Okay. Okay. I can't. I don't even know how to respond to that.
Next time you're at a party, just whip that one out.
And dead silence, crickets.
At the last party you will ever attend.
You want to know how to get out of being at a party? Like you are ready to go home. You tell them about Jeremy's goal theory.
Goals. Be sure to enunciate it like that. Thank you so much, Lonely Planet. Thank you so much to all of you for putting up with our shenanigans every single week.
Enunciate.
For Amy Long, I'm the Full Metal Traveler. We'll see you guys next time.